Listen, I love my Bronco. I've owned it for about 3 years now, and I've got to say I love driving it every day, everywhere I go. But there are a few things that I feel like are not as practical as they could be. So today we are going to be testing out 5 different accessories from Mabett to see if we can help the practicality of my ride. The first thing we're going to be installing today is this phone mount that actually goes right here. I've been hiding it in this pocket that's in the center console, and sometimes I forget that it's there. But I will have a more practical place to put my phone. And what's actually really nice is it does have a MagSafe with it, so if you needed to add that to your phone to work, then that works. And you're gonna install this onto the top. They do give us a T30 tool that I'm gonna be using. We now take this mount and line it up with the 2 holes. You don't have to remove the handle. They even provide longer screws to go ahead and go in. Now these still are the T30 bolt. One thing I noticed while I'm installing these is I do actually really like this detail that they added right here because it does match up with the detail on my actual grab handle. So even though this is an aftermarket piece, it fits in with my Bronco aesthetically. They do give you 2 placements of where you can put it. I'm gonna do the one facing a little bit more forward, and all I'm gonna do is screw this in just like this. And I'm gonna tighten it up, and let's give this a try. And it sticks right to it. It doesn't feel like it's gonna go anywhere. It feels actually pretty secure. I feel like I could take this off-road and it won't fall, and I'll have my phone right here. Now, something that has happened recently is my netting pockets, unfortunately, ripped right through, so I can't even keep my water cups here anymore. So I looked to see if there was a replacement through Ford, which seems really silly for just a ripped netting. But Mabett came up with the solution. Right here is going to be the new panel that I'll be able to put using the same Bronco bolts. It does come with this liner, which is actually really cool because it's going to prevent some shaking or rattling inside the door. So what I did is I lined it up with the holes and I just kind of hand tightened the bolts in there to hold it into place. So now I'm going to tighten them. Overall, I actually really like how this looks because it does, again, keep that same aesthetic of the lines that's already on the door panel. The next piece is the actual pocket that goes right here. Now this does use an adhesive, so we are going to be using what's called an adhesion promoter, which came with the actual product. So I'm going to go ahead, rip this open, and then I will clean on the inside where the tape is going to go. And there is our adhesive. So I'm going to go ahead, pop it into the hole down here, and then press along the back. This is going to be my new place for my water bottle. And then I also have a place to put my chapstick and my phone if I didn't want to use a phone mount or if you don't have a phone mount. This is my go-to water bottle right here. So let's see. It fits perfectly and comfortably, and it is pretty secure, and it doesn't rattle when the door moves, which is fantastic. The next accessory we have are these rubberized floor mats. Now, I know what you're thinking. Erica, doesn't your Bronco already have rubberized floors? It does, but when we go off-roading and we get rocks and sand in here, it's actually really difficult to clean out because we just have to bring the vacuum inside. I had something like this with my Bronco Sport, and I loved it. It was easy to take out, clean up, put back in, and the Bronco actually came with carpeted floor mats to start, so I ripped those out because I said I don't want carpet inside of an off-road vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and place this in and see how easy it is. So I line up these pieces right here, just push them down. There we go. Now the fit is actually basically perfect. It's really nice. It covers all of the bottom of the floor, and with my seat forward where it normally is, you wouldn't even be able to tell really that these are rubberized floor mats. I really like how these feel, how they look, and how easy they are to put in and take out because unfortunately, I do have a dog that likes to get car sick, so this makes cleanup a lot easier. Now, I do like that they include these for the back of the seats. However, I do have seat covers, so I'm not going to be putting them on, but if I did want to, or I took off the seat covers at some point, these have Velcro on the back, so they would just go ahead and stick right onto the back of the seat like that, and it would keep my seats protected just as much as the rest of the vehicle, which is pretty nice. Overall, the fitment in the back seat is almost perfect. Same with the passenger side. I have no complaints. There's nothing that feels wrong or anything like that, with one exception. That one exception is, unfortunately, with these, I do lose access to my hooks that are back here for tie down. So just keep that in mind if you're somebody that likes to tie down things in the back, like your freedom panels. you are going to be missing out on that functionality. We're now going to be installing some hood struts. Now, this is so exciting for me because I'm very short and I actually do struggle to lift my hood up and be able to prop it up, especially now that it's lifted. As you can see, this is about as high as I can go without a stepladder. We are going to take the bolt and the washer, have it go through this hole right here. Then we're gonna be taking this piece and we're just gonna be screwing it on super lightly. There we go, just like that. Then we're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. We're now gonna be taking these metal pieces and lining them up with these holes where they're gonna go in. Now from here, I'm going to hand tighten it, but the way I'm going to hand tighten it is I'm actually going to kind of pull down on the mount to provide some tension on the bolts on the other side. And then I'm just going to hand tighten it from there. Doing the same thing on the bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten these bolts. These are 13mm bolts. Then we're going to install the second bracket, but to do that, we have to go ahead and remove this bolt right here. Now this is a 10mm bolt. Then I'm going to install this bracket by hooking it onto this piece right here first, lining up the holes, and putting that same bolt that we took out back in. I'm going to pop on the strut right here onto this mount, and it's really easy. You just got to put a little bit of force or tension towards you. You hear the pop, and you're ready to go. Now the next one you can see is actually not lined up fully, and that's because we have to lift up the hood to get it at the right length. And then you just pop it on. And one is installed. We just got to do the driver's side now. It's time to test the struts. So I will say one thing, once you do the first one, the second one is super easy and it does not take very long at all. But let's see how it does. That makes my life so much easier. You have no idea. Last but not least, we have this windshield sunshade that we're gonna be putting up right now. Now listen, I understand. You're sitting here thinking I could just go to the auto parts store and get one of these. But the nice thing about this one is custom tailored to the Bronco, so no fighting to make it fit. So you can go ahead and put it up and see how easy it is. No fighting required, and now my dash is protected from sun damage because this is all plastic and we don't want them to crack or break because of sun damage. So with that being said, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If there's any products on here that you want to buy for yourself or you want to check out, we're going to leave all the product listings in the description down below. And if you want to check out some other easy interior upgrades for your Bronco, go ahead and click this video right here. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Bye guys.